the first one was in La Cherry.
Oh my God. Dani, I worked in La Cherry también, bro.
Oh, no way.
Pero yo era un burro en la escuela, bro.
I was like fascinated. Like, this guy made $1 million in 1 year. That's where everything shifted for me.
I pulled out $140,000 from my mom's equity.
No.
Yeah. My brother, it's an honor to have you here. We're here in our episode number 4 in the Wealth Gap podcast. Now, it's called Wealth Gap, brother, because would you happen to know what the average median income is in the U.S., bro?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around like 83,000. Damn, I was way off.
Do you know what it is in California?
Like 83,000?
Bro.
No.
Per person. Household
Wow.
is 90 something, 91. It's safe to say that you are well above the average median income. And that is why we have you here, brother. We want to know what Joser's doing. We want to know your story, brother. I want you to share with everybody, all our followers, our audience,
Yeah.
how you've become the Joser that we know today. I think there's a lot of people that still don't know you, brother. And it's my duty, it's my responsibility to help put you in front of more people, because we all need someone to look up to learn from. And I think there's a lot of people that are going to learn from you and your journey, brother. So thank you so much for being here, brother.
I got you. Thank you for the invite, man.
All right, brother. So walk us through young Joser. Like, where did you grow up?
Okay.
What was your upbringing like? Parents?
Yeah.
Things like that.
So my upbringing, I was actually born in Oakland, California. And then shortly after, my family relocated to Madera, California, Central Valley.
Okay.
So that was probably like at the age of 3.
Okay.
After the relocation, I kind of just stayed in Madera, or Madtown is what we call it back home. From that point forward, I was heavily invested into sports. Growing up, I actually played soccer. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would always wear a bandana. I was in the wrong sport wearing bandanas and with the Air Jordan emblem.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's how I first started with sports. Family used to go out to like every single game. And funny enough, I actually started remembering those beautiful memories and experiences just a couple hours, couple days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, like the whole 26 years of my life, all in 3 days.
Wow.
Which felt like an eternity.
And we'll talk about that the
later.
last few days here in a little bit.
With the upbringing, so it was, predominantly lower class. My dad works in construction, and my mom, she used to work at a meat company called Cargill. And then I remember this like as if it was yesterday. Like, she was there for so long, and she actually got repetitive motion. So basically, what happened, like her tendons from always like butchering, because that was her job.
Yeah.
It like messed up her wrist forever. She got a small settlement, bro, for a messed up wrist. And then shortly after that, she was just on disability, which was even less income. And mind you, we're a big family now of 9. At the time when I was growing up, I had an older half brother, but I call him my brother because we grew up with one another.
Yeah.
And then it's me, and then my 2 younger sisters. So, I mean, you could only imagine with that kind of income, that big of a household, it was not enough to go around. So it was a scarce mentality growing up, or like trying to survive. Now that I'm aware of it, and more than anything, part of that, like I had to grow up quick, unfortunately. So the little kid in me had to learn how to mature fast for myself, but also taking care of my siblings. Entonces, that's where the upbringing was like, for the hard work.
Yeah. Did parents encourage you to go to school and get a degree and go that route? Or did you go straight into the work field? Or tell us a little bit about what you did before mortgages.
Yeah, so what they had encouraged, growing up, they would always tell me, like, mijo, quiero que seas un abogado, un doctor. Like, what I want to say is very common with Hispanics, un maestro, not cop. My mom did not want me in danger.
Yeah.
So primarily she wanted me to be a lawyer to help out people like her and help them get their citizenship or residency status, or help those only Spanish-speaking clients, because I mean Spanish, the Latino community, because of no one being out there to help them.
Yeah.
So that was an encouragement, and I remember my dad was so hard on me for school. He wouldn't take anything less than a B.
Wow.
Plus.
You wanted straight A's.
Wanted straight A's.
And how were you in school?
I was actually pretty smart.
Really?
Yeah. So I would, I think, I was always like a 3.85 average.
Wow.
On the GPA. Going into high school, first 2 semesters were freshman and sophomore. I got 3.85, but the last 2 with the more advanced classes, I was 4.0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like a 2.0. I was like a 1.8. I would ask my my coaches, what's the minimum again? Like, what is the minimum GPA requirement so that I could play soccer? And they would tell me 2.0. So I was always just borderline. Like, I had like a 2.2.
Yeah. Okay.
That's crazy.
I had a couple friends like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, with to answer your question, it was like, you don't know what are they pretending to know that they don't know is like, I think very common within every household, not just the Hispanic community. So they thought it was like, they instilled in me, hey, go to school, middle school, graduate, and then go to college, and then figure it out after that. So I was just, before mortgages, I graduated 2016, and then I got approved for a lot of state universities. But I just didn't want to leave home. It was hard for me to.
Why?
Honestly, I was comfortable in regards to being able to see like my mom, my dad, my grandmother.
Leaving the nest.
I couldn't leave it at that time. So I also had a big responsibility with my siblings. Because then after the 3 younger brothers, just back to back came out. And I was responsible at that time because I was just going to school. Because then I went to, so here it goes. I went to Fresno Community College right away, 2017, start 2016 up until I graduated in 2018. But let me backtrack a little bit. So in the summers beginning in my junior year,
of high school?
Yeah, of high school. So I was 17. In the summers, I actually started working in the fields with my mom to help like provide my own shoes, my own clothes, everything.
Doing what? Like working in the field but what type of work was it?
Oh, okay, got you. So it was several different ones. The first one was in La Cherry.
Oh my God. Oh, I need to tell you a story right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that was the first one, bro.
But doing what? Doing what in La Cherry?
Pisqueando.
Like I'm in a little ladder and then you just crazy, okay?
Yeah, bro. That was the very first experience. Okay. I just be on the ladder, carry it. I just showed up. I got no training. They were just like, just go get as much cherries, fill in the bucket. Once you fill up the bucket, go and take it to the vehicle. It looks like this. Get your stamp punched, and then go and get another bucket filled up. So my very first day, bro, I was there. My mom sent me with los primos, pues, los conocidos.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I got the hang of everything, but it was like, let's just say it's in the fields, but per commission. So it wasn't no hourly rate. It's like whatever.
Oh, shit. Based on what you produce.
Whatever you produce. I just remember that right now. So whatever I produce. So basically, I started figuring it out like quick. Like, okay, you got to run, fill it up as fast as possible. Try and like, I was taking shortcuts at that point in time. Trying to get away with like, you have to have the stem on the cherry. But like in the beginning, they actually got mad at me because I was just like
everything,
just taking off the cherry off the stem because it was easier. It was just like you just pull it and come on. So after a couple reps, like maybe a couple hours in, bro, I went to my tree and my ladder was gone. Someone that took my ladder. And
why would they do that? Is there not like? Is it you provide your own ladder or do they provide it and then someone just took it?
Those are mayordomos, right? Okay, that are out there. But everyone has an assigned ladder.
Yeah.
But because everyone is per commission, whatever they produce per bucket, like they ain't got no time to waste. So
they just jacked it.
They jacked it, bro. And then that was it.
I have to tell you a funny one. So Danny, I worked in La Cherry también, bro.
Oh, no way.
Pero yo era un burro en la escuela, bro. So like I don't know what it looks like to have A's and B's. Like just A's and B's.
Okay.
Mucho menos puras A's.
Yeah.
You know? So then I was not doing good in school.
Okay.
And a handful of my buddies would also go work during the summer, alfil, so that they can have, I don't know, a little bit of money to, to spend, some to buy clothes before you started school. Some already had cars, so they wanted a nice little, little CD player, or no faltaba quien le quería poner rines, so shit like that, right?
Okay.
So then I went with one of my closest friends at the time. Fui a La Cherry, pero yo en la banda, bro, so there's like a little fucking, a little bell going like this. So all those cherries that you picked, they dump them into this little banda that's moving, and all the cherries are laying there. And there's like 3 or 4 little buckets that you can bring them into. If they're double cherries, you're grabbing them and you're putting them into like this little hole here. If they're rotten, then you put them into this one. And, I te están ayudando o te están diciendo como a dónde ponerlas. Y yo me acuerdo.
The way the cherry looks.
Como se ve la cherry.
Okay.
So, la gente, las señoras, bro, andaban en chingasira, bro. You could see them fucking laser focus and they were like. And then here's Andy, bro. Andy was like with one hand on his así. And then like I was grabbing him así, bro. And I remember que las señoras así al lado le hacían como me decían muchacho, me decían le decía así, like they didn't even they wouldn't make eye contact. They would just be like muchacho con las dos manos, muchacho. Because then the mayordomos were walking, bro. It was bad. So then in 2 days and a half, I realized, holy shit, if I have to do this type of work for a living, it's going to be all bad for my family. Like, I need to figure this school thing out. So then I go back to school and I'm like, okay, I need to clean it up.
How old were you at this point in time?
Like 16 and a half.
Oh, so like sophomore,
I was a young
junior.
student, yeah.
Okay.
So el chiste que dije, okay, fuck. Anything hard labor, I'm clear. I can't do it. I need to approach school differently. But then I always had like aspirations of having a business. Didn't know what, but I always was thinking that. But it was just a big realization. So I always figured out a way to pass these damn classes, even though there was countless times where I would be listening to the instructor.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to pay attention to the lecture, and I could look to the left, I could look to the right, and I could confirm, like, soy el más perdido de todos aquí. Like, ain't nobody more lost than me.
Would you raise your hand?
No, bro. I just was clear. Like, no se me pega esta madre. I'm not interested.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but I'm still gonna pass. Like, I have to, because I'm not gonna go to the field.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That shit's crazy.
Oh, so that was just a wake up call.
Yeah, it was a wake up call.
Okay. Yeah.
So then I started becoming very resourceful, knowing what type of friends to have. You know what I mean? Anyways, but let's keep talking. So then you worked in the field.
It actually sucked going to the Cherries. I found out I didn't like that one. Like, I was just there. So when that guy stole my ladder, I was like, man, they sent me like to walk. To put it in perspective, they sent me to walk like maybe like 2 blocks to go get another ladder and then come back to where my tree was at.
That made you lose a lot of time.
A lot of time, a lot of energy. Mind you, this ladder is like really big. It's not your normal like DIY ladder that you have at your house. This is like really tall.
Yeah.
So aside from that, just to summarize it all, my one of my favorite things actually that I hear like I have dear to my heart was going to work in the fields after like going to the durazno, the peaches. That one sucked because you would get itchy, like from all the I don't know if you
the fuzz.
The fuzz was so bad, bro. Like I would just sneeze. It was awful on that one, but I had to thug it out because I saw my mom. Man,
that's what I was gonna get to. So when people in our team or people in our industry talk about this being difficult or hard, bro, I just can't help but reference some of the older folks that I got to see working these hard labor jobs. Like, yo los miraba, bro. Yo los miraba ya poquito más de edad. No, hombre, ¿cuál poquitos más? Like, unos ya que deberían de estar relaxing, bro. Enjoying their fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they weren't bitching, bro. They were out there pushing the pace.
Yep.
So then I think to myself when I hear, you know, our generation talk about how hard it is, like, wow, bro, I can't relate, man. Like, you're tripping. We got the AC blowing. If we're hungry, we go downstairs. We you know, like we could manage most of our time. You know what I mean? If we wanted to take a little break or whatever. Ahí no, bro. Ya ves como la señora, te digo que ni me podía ver, bro. She had her fucking... I'm just thinking, like, it's crazy, bro.
Because they didn't want to risk. Like, that's actually for that. I want to say that the assembly line that you were referencing. I want to say that's probably like one of the easier parts if you're not punching holes.
Oh, no, mine was cake.
Yeah.
Super cake.
So they didn't want to lose it. Like, okay, no, I'll listen to whatever you tell me. I'm not going to get in trouble. I don't want to get written up because that's a really good job.
Me regañaban porque iba al baño un chingo de veces y me quedaba como 20 minutos, bro. I was like...
Hey, real quick.
I was cool. I was like trying to take a nap. Anyways.
How'd you get that job?
With my buddies.
Your buddy got you that job?
Yeah, all my friends.
Okay.
Y una vez, and let me tell you how I left. This is just funny story. I think our people are going to appreciate just the real raw stories. So, shout out to my brother Omar. Él está en México ahorita.
Okay.
Y yo y él fuimos juntos. And we went out for lunch, but we never packed lunch. Like, my parents were working. They didn't even know that I was out there trying to make money working in the field. So we would go to work, bro, sin lonche. Y eran de 12 horas. Y si querías, te ofrecían hasta 14. You know what I mean? So then we would be out there for 12 hours.
Bro.
Y no llevábamos lonche. And during lunch, Omar was like, damn, bro, like, se me antojan unas McChickens. And I was like, damn, some McChickens do sound fucking good. And we're like, we looked at each other. We were walking. We look at each other and we're like, you ain't down. And he was like, oh, I'm down. And I was like, no, you're not. And then we just keep walking until we sit in the car. And even in the car, we're sitting down because we left a mediodía on the third day during lunch. We went to McDonald's, me chingué un McFlurry bien a gusto, bro, and we never went back. I'm like, don't even send me the paycheck, bro. I'm never going back, and I'm going to figure this school thing out, bro. But then that's when I realized I'm not going to work no fucking hard labor job, bro. I need to figure this school thing out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy. Bro, you actually helped me. Thank you for sharing. That's a funny story, man. Like, I want to say that's so relatable within our, entre la comunidad de Latinos, bro.
Yeah.
So many of us could relate to being in the fields, parents. But but the other part of jobs, like one of the things that I look forward to, right? Like, because the degrees weren't the prettiest environments either. Yeah. You know how it is in California. How hot does it get in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, depending where you live, because I'm in sunny San Diego right now. It's beautiful here, brother. Yeah, come on now. But Modesto in the valley is fucking hot, bro.
Bro, 120 degrees at like peak of the summer.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. So that's how hot it could get.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked in the winter?
No.
Oh, bro. It's awful. You cold plunge, right?
Yeah.
You know how it feels like when your fingers get like numb, you could barely move them?
Yeah.
Imagine waking up in the winter.
Damn. Yeah, no, I know.
At 4 a.m., bro, and you could barely move them.
Cuando empecé en the mortgage business, me ponía puestos en el remate yo. Iba bien temprano y iba también bien temprano en el verano y bien temprano en el invierno. Y yo me acuerdo que decía, what the fuck this, bro. And I was like, you want to get out of this fucking poverty situation, bro? Like, don't be bitching. Y ahí iba yo cargando un chingo de pinches wooden frames. And I would clamp little pictures of houses for sale in the area. Y ahí andaba yo modelando pinches little flyers.
That was your startup?
That was my startup, bro.
Wow.
But when I think of waking up early and it's cold as shit or it's hot, really hot, I think of those days, like how I started in the mortgage business.
Yeah. So that was like the fields. Entonces, part of the like jobs were, I said cherries, duraznos. Then we would like cut off the leaves off of, I don't even know what tree it was, but they were super tall. We'd start cutting those off. Then we had asadón, which is just a hoe, like a backhoe, taking off all the weeds. Then we would like fix the grapes. I don't remember, like we would make them we would tie them perfectly on the actual like vine. Like, I don't know if you see them, like individual root. Yeah. So that's what we would do. And those were at that doing the uva, like that I actually look forward to lunch because I got to spend it not only with my mom, but my grandmother too. That's and cool. I was so excited every single day at lunch to eat my grandmother's tacos. Like, it was like, what are we gonna get today? And then she'd just be like, then. And then that was such a beautiful like time in my life, being able to have her.
Yeah.
And then the funny story, just transitioning out of it, was one time I went with one of my really close buddies. His name is Louis, and is Indio, and then a little bit of Hispanic. But we were still in high school, I believe, or no, freshly out of high school.
Yeah.
And he loves cars. Like, think of Justin in our team.
Yeah.
This is my Justin back home.
Yeah.
Like he got the 370 right now, Z, and
Nice.
super. He had the Honda Civic, all suited up and booted. So he wanted to just fix his cars, and he needed to change. So we went one day. He was like, "Hey, bro, can you get me in?" I was like, "I got you." We went. And then we were there, and then my mom just like kept looking at us. Bro, it was the hottest day in the summer when this guy came.
When he went,
bro, he was like,
his day one?
Day one, bro. I felt so bad because he just looked at me and he was like, Jose, it's fucking hot, bro. When are we gonna leave?
Oh my God, bro, that's messed up. But fucking sepa la raza.
Bro,
that's what we should do to people when they join the business, bro. Bring them in when it's like the worst. Because if they survive that, then they're gonna be fine with like whatever else happens.
Yeah. So then kind of just transitioning now, going into graduating, or actually just getting my associate's degree in 2018.
Yeah.
Got my associate's degree, was done working in the fields. Like the season was over, I was chilling. And this is kind of transitioning now where I got into mortgages.
Got it.
So I did not have the best relationship with my pops at that point in time. And at that time, I graduated and no more work. My dad knew, like well, obviously he's my dad.
Yeah.
He knew that I had no excuses to go with him to try and like apply for a mortgage loan. So he asked me like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And just open-ended questions. I was like, "Oh, I'm just chilling." I was in my bed, laying down, like just bored, looking at the ceiling. And he then says, "Hey, well, standing." He's just not even, mind you, he's not even inside the room. He's just by the door because we could not be in the same room.
Crazy.
It was just really bad tension.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just there, and then he would just be like kind of putting his fingers like dumping on it, and then he said, "Hey, well, I'm gonna try and like apply for a home loan right now. Do you want to go with me? I know you're not working and you just finished school. Like, let's go check it out. I know you're doing finance for
your major?
For my major, and I think it'll help you."
Wow.
Bro,
Change your life.
changed my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just the beginning. Entonces, so we went, and I was just there. It was like, different. I never been to that side of town or in those buildings. I didn't even know what those buildings were, and it just said like company name. I won't say the company.
Yeah.
And then we went in, little office, and then we got seated, like an appointment, right? Like if we're going to a doctor, or any like professional need service that you may need. Entonces, we went to that guy's office, and I was there with my dad, and I was just sitting down, like my guy right now, Danny, just there in the background, like just a fly on the wall, like hearing him, like what's going on. And then this dude, he actually just started talking to me out of nowhere. He was like me, I was like just zoned out, bro. I was like, hey, this is kind of boring. I'm hearing them just talk about like, hey, first name, last name, taking a 1003.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just pulled me in the conversation. He was like, hey, so what's your name? And I was like, oh, my name's Jose too. And he was like, so what are you looking to do? Like, I think your dad mentioned you just graduated. What are you going to school for? And I was like, oh, you know what? I want to go and do finance. And then this is actually like my dream goal at that point in time, right? Because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Entonces, I was actually like dreaming of being, because I'm not 6'4", to let everybody know. I'm 5'7.5".
And a half.
Yeah, bro, I got to throw it in. Any inch counts. Entonces, I didn't grow to be like a big guy to be able to go to college and pursue like basketball on a whole nother level and all these other things, right? It just wasn't for me. I realized it, but I still love the game so much. So I wanted to, I ran across a stat that like, out of, I don't know how many years, once someone leaves the league, they go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Like they lose it all. So I wanted to be a manager for like the athletes, like,
wow,
help them out.
I didn't know that.
Bro, yeah, I was just trying to think what I want to do, what I want. And at that point in time, that's all I was thinking. I don't know what I was going to do after I graduated. So now going back to this story, I shared with him, like, that's what I wanted to do. And then he was like, oh, okay. And we just kept conversating, small talk. And then eventually, in that conversation, he says, hey, I feel like you'll be really good at what I do. And I was like, well, what do you do? And then he said, oh, yeah, I just, I complete a loan application, gather the documents that your dad brought me, and then I tell him how much he's approved for, and they could go shopping for a house. And I was like, that's it? Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah. And I was like, so you get to sit there all day with the AC and not go outside? Like, you don't do any labor? And he was like, no, this is it. Every now and then I got to change the paper in the paper machine or order stuff, rellenar the water machine. But that's as intense as it gets. I was mind blown. I was like, what? No way. Like, you're doing this here in my town? Entonces, for me, it was unheard of.
Yeah. Because when you think of work, you think of labor, of sometimes even outdoors, y unas putizas.
Bro, that's all I think of. Yeah. That's all I ever knew. Actually, part of my childhood, my dad would actually not make me, but he would force me. In the beginning, I would want to be like my dad. He was like my biggest hero. Yeah. I would want to follow him, like, to war. Like, I would just, he bought me a little shovel, bro. Like, you know how big of a shovel is, right? He got me a little one with the metal, like, it was metal. And I just follow him everywhere. And I just start digging holes with him, like, randomly. And then he'll just let me be, right? So, I always knew, like, labor. So for me, that was like a brand new opportunity. Like, whoa, this is a lot more tangible now. I could see myself doing this. Yeah. So he planted a seed, and we finished that conversation with this. Or, you know what? Actually, let me backtrack. So part of that conversation in there, I was asking some funny ass questions. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Like, you're still young. I'm only a teenager at that time. I think I was 18. No, I was 19, probably going on to 20, or I was already 20. But yeah, I was just like trying to get more information, and I was asking him personal questions, like, "Hey, well, how much do you make a year?" And he would be like, "It just depends on how much you work. Like, how much work do you want to put in?" And then I asked him, "Well, like, does it take you forever to get where you're at?" And he was like, "No, you could do it in 1 year." And then I asked him, "What's the most you ever made in a year?" And he hit me with a big 1 million. I was like, fascinated, like, this guy made $1 million in 1 year. I was like, whoa. That's where everything shifted for me. That's when I started doing my own research. I already went into that appointment, knowing like how much per Google, how much a financing agent would make, which was about $75,000. And then I later did some extra research that night. And I put what's the average medium salary in California for a loan officer on Google? $75K again. Bro, for me, I was like, so you're telling me I'm going to go to school for another 2 years, be stressed out, be broke, and still and start off making not even $75,000, maybe less, because then there's like interns. I never got that far. Yeah. Internships, working for free. And then you got to go and get build that up for X amount of years before you even get the opportunity at a company. So I started doing a lot of research. That's where I went home that day. Class started 2 weeks later. In between those 2 weeks, I came up. Fun fact. I came across your previous company, and then like, I kept studying that guy. I was like, oh, this is like, a lot of flashy stuff. I was like, I don't know why, bro. That fascinated me a lot for whatever reason. Like, it was very
It makes sense. The same thing for me.
Okay. So then fast forward, I was listening to a podcast what do you do? What is it? Like, is it really that hard? And then I came across your podcast, bro.
No way.
Yeah. Before it got taken down.
Yeah.
Bro, when I saw that podcast, in between like those 2 weeks, because I was like binge watching it. Yeah. Bro, I was so breathtaking. Like, damn, this dude is so sick. You're talking about like someone from the Valley, Mexican as fuck, and then out in LA, the biggest city that I never been to LA. and he's just living his dream. I was so fucking like inspired by you, bro. At that point in time on my bed, I was still doing the same thing. So then I went to school.
I'm sure Danny was who recorded it.
Oh shoot!
Isn't that crazy?
That's so crazy, bro. Damn. Yeah. Well, who knows? He got the archive. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So yeah, I then school started, right? First semester, mind you. So I went to I went to and I didn't finish at Fresno State. I like to call myself an alumni, but I'm really a dropout.
I feel you.
And it's all right, you know. Like I'm actually really happy. So,
how did you join our guy?
What do you mean?
The company that first company, the mortgage.
Oh, bro. Oh, yeah. He told me. Oh, yeah. So I asked him. My bad. I asked him, hey, well, what do I need to do in order to be licensed? So he told me, hey, look, I'm gonna text you, or you could look this up. It was the worst course ever, by the way. This is like ancient, like book. Like you got to get a book of mortgages. I'm talking about RESPA, TILA, like all of that.
I did it the same way.
You did that?
Yeah.
Bro.
I read the whole book.
You're a savage.
That's why it took me a long time. Maybe.
How many times? Mine was like the fourth.
Mine was the fourth too.
Oh,
damn. For me, it took me a year and a half. I failed it. And you know what I failed?
Bro.
I failed my test the third time, and you need a 75% to pass, and I got a 74. And I clocked this hammer here. I clocked it back where I was gonna hit the fucking screen. I was like, you mother. And then I was like, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't fucking going nowhere. So then, you know, a few months later, like 7 months later, I passed it. And then when I passed it, one of my closest friends was studying with me pretty regularly. And he's like, bro, congratulations, bro. I can't believe you fucking finally passed it, bro. It's been like a year and a half. Yeah. He's like, how do you feel? Or he's like, why don't you seem happy? And I'm like, because I still haven't done shit.
Oh.
Like, this is just the licensing part. Now it's time to play ball. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then, anyways. But you felt
it's that Mamba mentality.
Yeah, you passed on the fourth try too?
Yeah. I'll get to that right now in a little bit. There's no coincidence, bro. Like the way this universe works.
Yeah. Tell me how you joined our guy.
So then, he laced me up with what I needed to do to get ready. Entonces, school started and I started that program. I was like, well, might as well. I think like I said, I had the good grades and I was confident thinking that I can do both at the same time. Yeah. So at Fresno State, like I didn't know, like if you're a transfer student, they actually make you, they give you like the bottom of the grades, like the classes, my bad. So the ones that get priority over like the better teachers, like the reviews, I think it's like Rate My Professor. They actually, they give that to the freshmen. And then it's the seniors, and then it's the sophomores, and then it's the juniors, or like year 1 through 3.
Priority.
Yeah. So then I got like the worst like instructors, like on the whole industry.
So you're gonna blame it on them. Wow,
bro.
That's not leadership.
You know what I found out though, guys?
I'm kidding.
And we'll get to it. I was making a lot of excuses and reasoning with a bunch of stuff.
And we'll talk about how he realized that. Okay, so I want to know how you started with this guy.
Okay, yeah. So then I didn't start with this guy.
Okay.
Okay, so he said, well, this is where the good part, bro. Like he said, pass that, and then I'll bring you on board. Just pass your test. And so I was like, oh, so I have a guaranteed job, like once I pass my test. So if school's not going good, I already had like that my plan B. It wasn't my plan A, it was my plan B. I already have that in my back pocket, so I'm gonna just try and get through it because I really want to make my parents proud with college.
Yeah.
So, I was doing both of them because I was like determined, like, dude, I could get this in a month. Like,
do you recommend people who are going to school and trying to get into, let's just say, mortgages, real estate, to try and do them both at the same time, or how was that experience for you?
Well, I mean, there are some geniuses, bro, like Geronimo, the little brother.
The little brother is a savage.
He's a savage, bro. He's
doing both.
He's doing both.
And some.
And yeah, he already graduated, bro, and he's going for his master's, dog. I'm like, what?
I asked him yesterday, brother, so what's your plan for your master's? And he was like, I don't know. I was like, dije, no la chingues.
It's in the
Le dije,
drip.
what's a major? Me dijo, finance. Le dije, okay, good. At least it's something that I'm sure you can, you can use that skill set into this business and whatever else you do in the future. So it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so then started school, right? I told you, like, we come from low income. Yeah. I was actually getting financial aid to go to school.
Yeah,
like,
so was I.
Okay. So I didn't know when I transferred. They told me I was going to get 13 grand. I was banking on that 13 grand. That was a huge amount of money because I went from community a little bit, like maybe 4 grand per semester, to 13 for a whole semester. I'm like, whoa, boy's about to start eating good.
Yeah, about to start getting some new J's.
School's it wasn't even that, bro. I was like dressing in like, I don't know what was going on. I'll probably send you some pictures or something. But bro, like I ended up like coming out with just getting $300 because the majority, I didn't know, like went to tuition.
Yeah. Because
it's a state now, so it's a lot higher. So then, long story short, I started like right away, like it just a whole different level. I started failing all my classes like 2 weeks in. And then I was doing the course and I was like, damn, this is actually kind of confusing. I never seen this. So then to just fast forward it, there was like a fork in the road. It came down to it because I had no money. I was only relying on my income from the fields like that I had saved up. It wasn't too much. And it was between, okay, look, I can get that instant gratification. It's not really instant gratification though. Or bust my ass for another couple semesters and like graduate and then pay my dues. Yeah. And I was like, I could just re-enroll. Bro, I missed the re-enrollment after I failed my first test. So I had to wait 30 days. It was like a weird time. I dropped my courses. They said, yeah, you got to try next semester. I was like, fuck, what did I do? Because that's all I knew at the moment, like school, and that's it. And that's where like I started going like downhill for a little bit because I was always, like good grades, everything, and boom, first time. So then I actually had my uncle while waiting. He remodels homes. And then he told me, hey, you could come work with me. Like, let's go. And just so you know, like, he's the one that got me into basketball. He was like, when me and my pops, like how I had mentioned, we weren't in the best of terms. I consider him like my father figure. And I would spend so much time with him and also my cousin. Yeah. So, entonces, my cousin was like painting too. And then my uncle was painting too. Two of my most like favorite people. Yeah. Painting together. I was like, this might not be too bad. Yeah. So just trying to be optimistic. So yeah, then I just started painting. And then I took the second time around. I was like, all right, look, no more excuses. I don't got to school no more. Let's just all in. Like I can't even register for school. Yeah. And then so the first time, you want to know how much I failed it by? What? I got like a 54, 52.
Around, yo también y más o menos.
Bro, the second time, I did like a 58.
Same.
Fully committed, bro. I was like, what did I do? And then there was a bunch of turmoil. I was like bummed out like at that point.
What about the third time?
Oh, and then fast forward. On the third time, bro, I ended up getting a 73.
Wow. Super close.
Stupid close.
Did you think of quitting?
Well, then I was like, well, what am I going to do? Like, I didn't think about quitting. Well, actually, you know what? I did think about quitting. I was like, man, you know what?
I didn't, bro. Not for a split second.
Bro, I did.
I said, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know?
Well, yeah. For me, it was just like, man, I just couldn't, man. Like, I was really like down on myself because of all the previous stuff that had happened. So then, 6 months. And then I was just working for my uncle. And así me la pasaba. Entonces, like within the fourth try around, because I was so close on the second try because of this course that was recommended, and we could always like share that program because it's amazing. Yeah, I passed it, bro, with flying colors. Nice. I got like a 92 or something, bro. Really good. Like made that shit my bitch. Good. So then after, this is a good part, bro. As soon as I passed, I'm pretty sure everyone could get the feeling or the experience of going to the elevator and coming down. Yeah. Bro, I was calling this guy right away on like a Saturday or I don't know what day I took my test. And I was like, hey, I finally passed my test. And then he was like, who's this? Oh, it's Jose. Like, you were actually, I was the college student, and you were with my dad trying to help him get approved. Remember, you recommended me a course? He was like, oh, yeah. Hey, I'm actually kind of busy right now. Can you call me in Monday the following week, or like the next day? And I was like, oh yeah, I got you. I'm sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
So I actually like telling the story because
this
is where I learned.
This is powerful.
This is where I learned follow up, bro.
Okay. Go ahead.
So then I called him Monday, no response, and then I called him Friday, he picked up. He was like, hey, I was like, hey, this is Jose, and then he told me to reach out, following up. I'm sorry if I'm bothering you. And he was like, oh, you know what? My bad. I'm kind of busy right now. Let's actually do it for 2 weeks. Mind you, to just give it a little bit of perspective, because the market's not really like that anymore. Good. It was during when rates were at all time low.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. So prime time in mortgages. So he didn't have time for me at that point in time. Called him. He told me, hey, you know what? Call me in 2 weeks. Put it on my calendar. Another 2 weeks. Then it turned into a month. Then a month turned into 2 months.
Wow. And
then after all that time, bro, I passed in July. He didn't tell me until like the end of that same year, in 2021. No,
2020.
In 2020. He didn't tell me till the end of 2020, like fourth quarter of 2020. He didn't tell me, hey, you know what, Jose? I tried, bro. I tried getting you in. I called my higher ups, and they just said they don't want to take anyone that's new. Bro, right there, I was like, fuck. Ahí la calle. Like, now what am I gonna do? Mm-hmm. I was so hard on myself, right? But I was always confident because of sports, and or had my guard up, right? So I was like, damn, now what do I do? And then I remember we were painting this really nice house at the time with my uncle, and we were just there eating some Subway, and we were just talking because he saw me like kind of bummed out for like a week or however long it lasted, and he was like, hey, like, have you ever thought about like just applying as a loan officer assistant, and don't tell anybody that you actually have your license, because mind you, we didn't know what mortgages was at all. Yeah. So, yeah, bro, I was like, okay. So what? The first thing I did, went to LinkedIn, and I made a resume. Just got a Google Word document and started putting my resume, like all these different companies in Madera, Fresno. I started getting a little bit like, oh, I could do Fresno. Bro, no, till this day, you could probably still find my resume in their inboxes. But now they see me like where I'm at, and now they're calling me, hey, you ever thought about switching? You want to come here? Like, hey, well, sometimes I feel like, at the time, right, not anymore, but at that point in time, because I just wanted an opportunity, I was like, you guys still probably haven't even opened up my resume, you know? Yeah. So, I just went to that, like, couldn't find anything. And then later that year, like in November, I think, I finally got a call, like, finally got an opportunity, a breakthrough, bro. That house that we were painting, I asked the lady, hey, what do you think about, like, the work about your house, that, like, what we were doing? Like, what, like, I know you had other people. How do you think we're doing? She was like, you guys are amazing. Like, you guys are really good at painting. And we are. I still am. Yeah. So I was, like, just asking these open-ended questions. I told her, hey, would it be possible, like, I know, like, you see my work ethic and how much I try, and I speak Spanish. I'm really trying to just, like, dive into this career. I don't know did you buy this cash, or did you have some, like, a loan officer help you? Wow. And she was like, oh no, we didn't buy it cash, because they do really good for themselves. Yeah. And then she told me, like, yeah, I mean, I know someone, the one that helped us. Let me ask him. And then that was like, we were in Lonche, like, for painting that house. She came back when we finished later that day, and was like, hey, you know what? I called, and they said they're not taking anybody at the moment. I was like, man, I just keep getting no everywhere. Entonces, I was very persistent, though. Like, I was like, man, can't be. I passed, and I can't fucking find a place to call home. So when we finished that house, it was like a big house. We were like chilling in her kitchen, freshly painted. Her husband was there drinking a beer with all of us, and we were just talking. And I was like, I'm gonna ask her again. I'm not gonna take no for an answer. I was like, hey, Kathy, by any chance, would you be able to ask again and see like if there is an opportunity, like anything for me? And then right there, she was like, hey, Wally, do you know like if our LO, like if the one that helped us, didn't he mention recently they were needing some help?
That is crazy,
bro. Changed my whole life at that point.
That is where you got hired.
That's where I got hired. But it was some terms and conditions with the hiring. I was so happy though, bro.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So what happened? The terms were, hey, they call. I got a call, bro. I was shopping. I was fishing with my dad in Los Baños for striper, and I got a call from the guy and said, hey, you know what? Like, I'm connect you with my area manager, and we're gonna interview you. I was like, oh, bro, my heart started like racing. I was so freaking happy. Like this can't be real. Like someone pinched me. I can't believe it. And then when I got that call, he was like, yeah, let's go ahead and set it up for this following Monday. Just bring a resume and we'll see you there. So I showed up, bro, and I when I noticed that I sweat a lot when I get nervous.
Yeah.
I was there in the interview, bro. Like camisa, bro. I was like, damn. I was nervous. I was just like, oh, hopefully they don't smell me or they don't tell me to hug them or shake their hand because I'm gonna be like this. So then we finished the interview. It was 2 of them. I still reach out. Like, you know, they gave me an opportunity. I love them. Really good dudes. And they were like, hey, you know what? We're gonna hire you. And the only thing is that we're not gonna be able to bring you on board till February 2021. So mind you, we're at the end of 2020. I was like, I'll take it. I don't care. So he says, while you're waiting though, I want you to reach out to us. And and on top of that, I want you to study guidelines, FHA and conventional. So that's what I did. Studied guidelines.
Let's talk about how. So you started there, and it was a fucking mission, bro. Took a lot of patience, took a lot of grit, perseverance. You started learning follow-up from asking the same LO if he had another opportunity. But then let's fast forward when you joined us.
Oh.
When we met.
Bro.
Let's talk about that.
So, yeah, like you were fresh in my mind from seeing your podcast. And then I was just following you because I took on an LOA role, a licensed loan officer assistant role at that job. So funny enough, like I went to your event that year in 2021, I believe. Was it 20? Yeah, 2021. And I met you for the first time, but I sat front row, and I was like, damn, there's no way this is real. Like this could be me eventually, not in the company, right? Because I was like loyal to where I was at the past. And yeah, I was like, man, this is so sick. Like, this is my first time ever at an event. You were just, you know, doing your thing up on stage with the mic. It was so great experience. But one thing that like really planted a seed to be part of Next Gen, bro, I didn't have that much money like at that time still. So like I was there and I wasted all my money on VIP ticket so I could get the 2-day experience and get coffee the next day. Bro, that event, you gave me half your sandwich. Oh my God, it was the best sandwich ever.
No way. I think I remember that.
You gave me a chicken sandwich. It was so fire. And then like that was a way for me to like, oh, I could trust him. Like he's a good dude. It's not like, you know, it's not fake. Entonces, fast forward, I actually was getting frustrated at my prior company because they were saying, hey, look, I'm gonna need you to focus on your things. At that point, like you started reaching out to me because you saw my videos on social media. They were like, hey, anything that you start producing for yourself, you got to do it like after your hours. So from 5, and at that point in time, I was working like all day at the office from 5 p.m. till like 1 in the morning. Just trying to do content and do my deals. And then I started getting business. Like self-generated off social media. And then they told me, hey, and then anything that you get, like the loans, you got to do it after hours. Like, make sure our stuff is taken care of. I was like, damn, this is not what I signed up for. Then they told me, you got to wait 5 years until you could go and be a full loan officer. I was gutted, bro. So you came into the perfect timing, bro.
Yeah.
Into that, like my office at that point in time. And we were just talking. And then I was like,
I remember walking in there, bro, and seeing the next gen, like whatever it is, what is it called?
The lanyard?
The lanyard. I remember seeing the books. I remember seeing your marketing setup. And I remember just seeing a paisano, bro, that I could relate to.
yeah.
Could see the good heart, the genuineness. And I just couldn't help but like tell you, hey, bro, I think that one day you're going to have to consider making a move and joining the family. Remember that?
Bro, yeah, it was a soft close because I was not going to get closed. Even though I was frustrated, I was still like scared, you know?
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it was just cool. I felt like you were the big brother because then you even had me play you a song on the guitar. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. Later on that same month, I was so frustrated, like, because they told me that.
Yeah.
And that's when I hit you up. Hey, bro, I actually want to like reconsider. Like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
And then you told me, well, you know what? Don't cut your ties because you never want to cut ties.
Yeah.
Like first business lesson.
Yeah.
Put your 2 weeks in and then join.
Yeah.
So then I got hired, bro. I was so excited. Felt like a little kid all over again on June 1st of 2022. And then that's where everything started.
First year you break 6 figures.
First full year, because I was halfway through the year on my own, bro. But let me tell you how I got I didn't know what it was to do like loan officer things. I really didn't know what it was like to generate your own business.
Yeah.
So here you were like trying to help little brother out as much as possible, bro. And you set up an event in Lemoore.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
All right. You know who was picking me up?
Who?
Fernando.
Okay.
And Andrea. And I don't remember who else was in the car. Bro, it was like, okay, I finished my 2 weeks. It's my first day. It's a Wednesday. And I am going to see Fernando. You were like, hey, you heard of Fernando? I was like, no, I haven't heard of Fernando. I was like, Fernando's the shit. He's pretty sick.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started seeing all his shit on social media. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to meet this guy. You guys call him Fernandini? Why?
I just made it up.
You know? No, so it was just so funny. Like, so I was waiting for this guy too because I was like thinking like he's an extension of you. And so here was, he was like, hey, brother, Jose, I'll call you. I'm going to pick you up. Where do you live? Send me your direction. And I sent it to him. And he was like, okay, we'll be there at noon. We'll be there like at 12. And then I was like, okay.
Oh, my God. I remember. Okay, luego.
Bro, I like fucking, I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, yeah, day one. I went to the gym, worked out, came back, showered, got ready. I was ready like a whole hour ahead of time.
Yeah.
12 comes. And then I looked at my phone.
Nothing.
I called him. Nothing. 5 minutes go by. Nothing. I was like, what did I do? Why did I quit? I had it there.
Oh, you were already second guessing.
I was second guessing, bro, because of that bad experience the first time around.
Yeah.
Here's Fernando calling me an hour later. And says, hey, Jose, sorry, we're running late, bro, but we're about to be there in like almost 20 minutes. Oh, my God, I got so excited again. And yeah, that was the beginning. So, yeah, I want to say that first 6 months, I was just figuring out the business. And I didn't get my first deal till 3 months later after spending all of my funds in my bank account and maxing out all of my all of my credit cards.
Así es, bro.
Yeah.
Hay veces que uno tiene, bro, cuando yo empecé, I pulled out $140,000 from my mom's equity.
No.
Yeah. And just because she saw how committed I was, how focused, how different I spoke, the actions, like she saw what I was sacrificing. She just saw the change.
Yeah.
And she had a property with a lot of equity. And I'm like, Ama, if I pull out this much, this is a payment. This is a payment. Let me take over the payment and let me access this equity.
Yeah.
So, hay veces que uno quiere rifársela. You want to go you want to swing for the fences, but yet you're not willing to make some very, very bold moves that you have to make sometimes, bro. Sometimes you might have to push it on credit.
Yep.
You might have to be fucking broke for a minute before you start getting traction. But then a lot of us that, start seeing progress in our life, if we look back, we've made some pretty fucking bold moves.
Mm-hmm.
So props to you for making that shit happen.
I appreciate that opportunity.
So then year 1, you break 6 figures. Year 2, you're on pace to break multiple 6 figures.
Yeah.
Tell us about how now that you've been hiring, how you can look back at like young Hoser, and keep in mind that there's people here that are thinking about making a career change. Maybe there's the student that always wanted to accomplish more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're a processor. Maybe you're LOA and you want to be an LO. What advice do you have for them looking back at like these past 2 years and a half, being where you are and like your journey?
So, I mean, it's not like a one shoe fits all scenario because everybody's different, bro. I would say this though, just kind of like general.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for like, hey, I'm gonna join the mortgage business and I'll be able to make it like all this money within a month, it's not gonna happen. It's very rare that happens. Mm-hmm. So aside from that, it's a lot of learning. Like, yeah, like how I dropped out of college. Well, I've been in the business for 3 years now and some change. But year 1 was like, okay, freshman year, 2, sophomore. Right now, I'm like my junior year, graduating every single year. And there's others, right? It's very rare though. Like in the company, we have maybe 2 where they just blew up in like a couple months.
Yeah,
it's unheard of.
Yeah.
So I would just say like, you got to be very wise. Like make sure there's a lot of sacrifices. Like you might hurt some of your relationships throughout the time being. Times might get a little rough, but if you are like with you being committed, and we're gonna be helping like right here in TNG, right? You're gonna see it all, and then some. With the amount of work you put in.
Yo cuando empecé, I was gonna be a teacher, and I had a paid internship. This was from like June to August when I completely made a hard right. I was gonna in June. I graduated June. It was June because I graduated late, and I had a paid intern to start in August.
Yeah,
and I discovered mortgages that summer. I remember I told my cousin, "Okay, I'm in. I want to do mortgages." So then that was summer of 2016, and the next 6 months, all 2017, I made 10 grand, bro. So I was cutting hair, and I would just make a little bit of money to pay my cell phone, put a little gas in the car, eat out a little bit, pay my gym membership. But andaba broke, bro. But I always thought, like, I'm not going nowhere, bro. I found the vehicle. I found the vehicle that is a service, is a product that I can completely stand behind. I love the idea of helping our paisanos get into a home. I love the idea of, especially if they've tried in the past and they haven't been able to. And I love it to go and like see their kids open up the doors and just that whole experience. And on top of that, it pays very well. So to me, it was perfect, bro. I'm like, this is a vehicle. I ain't fucking going nowhere.
Yeah. I'm
going to learn this shit sooner or later. So I went a year and a half. I made 10 grand. The second year I made like, I don't know. It was bad, bro. It was very rough start. And I think a lot of us that are here today can look back and just reflect on all the sacrifices that we've made. And it's sometimes hard for our people that are thinking about making the jump to not understand that. Like, you're going to have to go through the valley of despair is what it's called. Like, it takes a minute before you start seeing some results.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes people think that your progress is going to be like this. It's going to be steady. It's going to be predictable. And it's not, bro. You're in the valley of despair means like you're working, you're doing all the right things, you're studying, you think you're supposed to be seeing progress, but you're not. And then that like that hockey stick moment happens where boom.
Yeah. And that's what happened with me.
It comes quick.
Yeah. And you know what? Like even then, if it could then go like this.
Quick, yeah.
If you're not putting the right systems, if you're not doing the hirings, if you're not doing the personal development, it's not like always guaranteed either.
How would you say the group, Next Gen, the entire family has helped you?
Oh, bro, like everybody here is just wanting to help. Like, yeah, we're helping people with mortgages and getting into homes, but in the company itself, we're like, I mean, I showed you, I kind of shared with you how it was for me. Like, I didn't even know how to prospect, and here, you could like you could get reps from helping others and learning the game. Like, okay, this is what you do. This is how you take a 1003, and then X, Y, and Z until you get a pre-approval.
What's your
right?
what's your favorite thing about the company?
Me, everyone, like the people, like the environment, the culture. There's nothing like it, bro. Like,
How would you describe it?
what you like one word?
No, I mean just.
I'm using one word. It is amazing, bro. It feels like it's just brothers and sisters. So yeah, you could count on like someone to help you with sales, the trainings. You could have someone help you like with your closing costs, like dial in the fees if you're having questions, programs. I mean, it's only even getting better. Now we got a we got an underwriter, senior underwriter now, like prepping all our stuff. So it's very like, it's a lot easier now in this company.
Yeah.
As opposed to when we first started off, it's kind of like, all right, we just got to go and make our rounds and figure out, like, bro, when people are so willing to give here too. Like one of where, like, I mentioned the 3 months in that time. And when it was getting hard, I was just being a student. Like I wasn't getting discouraged there. And then I went to Sandra's house, not her house, her apartment. I kicked in her couch.
Yeah.
Because she was at that time the leading sales leader. And just killing it. Like she was a captain. She is a captain, and just sharing with everybody. And then she taught me like, hey, you're not doing it right. Do it like this. Over Zoom. So I was like, oh, bro, like I went to you, I went to her, I went to Alex, I went to Fernando, Vic.
You studied everybody.
I studied everybody. Like, you guys are doing great. I need to learn.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's what I love. Bro, the reason why I moved from NorCal to SoCal, why I changed companies, and I was desperate for change and willing to do whatever, was because I needed help. I needed people to ask questions. And this business is intended to be a solo sport. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money to be made, and it makes sense why someone would just worry about their business.
Yeah.
And if helping you makes me lose time growing my personal business and putting money in my pocket, then I probably don't want much of that. Well, that's contrary to what we do.
Yeah.
Here we lock arms, bro. We lend a hand. And we know that we're all going to need help, and we're all going to have to lend a hand whenever someone needs us. Yeah. That's what I love. But let's end with this, bro. You just went to a training. And you got a glow to you, bro. Yesterday was a very exciting day for the both of us. Very emotional day. What can you share about that without sharing
the program?
Well, without sharing the exercises, because we have a handful of our team members that are still going to go.
Yeah.
So share that experience, and then how much investing in yourself has helped you become the hoser that we're seeing today.
Oh, yeah, bro. Man, I want to say that course, like, really, really had me look at the man in the mirror today. The man in the mirror right now wasn't this last week. Like, this course helped me reflect on all of the 26 years of my life, why I do certain things. And what I got from it was I found out, like, who I am. That's it, plain and simple. Like, I'm so happy right now, bro. Like, I was caught with emotions, and like, I'm like, my name pops up every single month in the company group chat and so on and so forth, and people look up to me and ask me for advice, like, reach out, I help, bro. But I was like, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I was just going with the motion. I was looking for approval from you guys. I was trying to just be right and, like, help guide, but it was me having my walls up, bro. And I didn't know. I was, like, resisting to be vulnerable. And then I was able to share, like, some pretty, like, nice memories with you yesterday when you surprised me, bro. And it was so beautiful. Like, I cannot remember. Actually, now I do, because it's all, I'm like, I thought I lost my memory after I shared with you that I almost passed away. I thought I lost my memory because of that, bro. And I'm starting to, like, remember so many, like, precious times in my life. So now I feel like the time that I passed my mortgage,
NMLS.
the NMLS, oh my God, that was a huge milestone. Like,
Yeah.
I felt it. But aside from that, bro, I wasn't satisfied with my associates, high school, middle school, none of that. I could last remember like being the second grader or the first grader or the kindergarten. Like the joy that I'm feeling right now is that little,
Similar.
that little boy that didn't have a care in the world about what was going on. He just wanted to play and have fun and kick it with the homies and the playground, and that's it. And now, like, I am very joyful, and I have like a new set of lens on me, and it showed me like that I had a breakthrough, bro. It was so deep and powerful. This breakthrough was that I am now gonna be intentional with my relationships, because growing up, I hated, it hurt me so much, like seeing my parents go off to work every single day, me getting carried on my mom's shoulder, and get left off with like a random stranger at their apartment so they could watch me, but it's like on the weekend, so she could go work. And I remember the feeling of being scared, bro. So freaking, like, I just wanted to get a hug from my mom. So then I think that's when I started having those little like, I want to say like I built some imaginary walls that don't even exist anymore. Because now after that training, bro, I am so vulnerable. Like
bro, ayer nos dimos un abrazo y los dos nos agarramos llorando, bro. Like no nos pudimos. I couldn't contain it. I didn't even want to, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was crazy. But it's beautiful, huh?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. So I haven't felt a hug like that or like that amount of joy in like 4 years, bro. It's been that long. And and in those 4 years, I had some really like messed up shit going on that put me further down into like going with emotions. And then just this one course, bro, I already feel it. Like we're going to do some damage. In regards to like business, but like we're gonna help out so many different families. Yeah. We're gonna be creating beautiful experiences, beautiful relationships. Like I got on the team. I mean, I got on a call this morning. I was just calling individually. Allie, my executive loan officer assistant, and then Maddie, my loan officer assistant that helps out on the front.
Tiene dos asistentes ya, eh?
Bro, Allie was like. I won't share what I told her, but she was just so freaking happy. Like she could feel it right away. And this isn't like in person. It's contagious. Bro, but she could feel it like me just talking right now. Yeah. There's a different light to me. Like I'm just lighthearted. I'm joyful. I'm surrendering. I'm vulnerable. Yeah. And I see what you've been able to do to others. And I can now like reciprocate the same energy.
Brother, thank you so much for your trust. Yeah. It makes me so happy to see my brother's experiencing some of the things that I got to experience. Me seeing you this joyful reminds me of when I experienced it. And I'm just trying to see how many more people we can help. Now it's going to be your responsibility to pay it forward. And I have no doubt we're going to change thousands of lives, brother. Thank you so much for being here today. Where can our people follow you?
Oh, yeah. They can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, all platforms. Jose Holmes _. And then we'll leave it like that. But you wanna leave like a little.
If you guys know what this means,
if you know, you know.
You know.